There are so many snacks in Hollywood studios, and how are you going to find out which ones are worth your time and cash? Well, you're in the right place. You're watching today's DFB video where we're ranking every single snack park-wide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Now when it comes to theme park snacks, Hollywood Studios is a treasure trove for unique snacking opportunities. So what we're going to do today is rank literally every single snack imaginable inside this park. You know the drill. We've already done it for the other parks. We're going from good to better to best. So you know our personal feelings toward these items. Plus you'll have a better idea of what snacks are going to work best for you. Before we get started, I got a few super speedy things to tell you first. 1, all the snacks on today's list are strictly from quick services and snack kiosks. So if you need an advanced dining reservation to eat the snack item, it's not going to be featured. 2, no alcoholic beverages, but a few non-alcoholic specialty drinks that are good for the whole family will show up on today's list. And 3, while we will list off where these snacks are located in Hollywood Studios, sometimes it's better to show versus tell. So be sure to pick up our free DFB Best Snack Maps by scanning the QR code you see on the screen now, or clicking on the link in the description for disneyfoodblog.com/bestsnacks right after this. That way we can send you full color maps for where our favorite snacks are specifically located, so you don't have to take a bunch of notes and figure it all out. Okay, let the ranking begin. These are as basic as can be, but you know what? When your kid's having a full-on meltdown and the only thing that's going to get him to stop is a Baby Bell cheese wheel or a bag of Lay's potato chips, you're going to be super thankful that Hollywood Studios still has this basic stuff handy. Well, you're more than welcome to pack yourself some snacks in preparation for your theme park day. Yep, you can bring food in the park, no problem. You might not have had the chance to, so Hollywood Studios provides classic grocery store snack items, apples, bananas, chip packages, etc., along their various snack kiosks. Warning though, these snacks will be priced higher than you're used to seeing them listed for at your everyday supermarket, just so you're aware. Looking for something sweet and familiar? These snack stands might also have cotton candy, standard chocolate chip cookies, and those frozen Minute Maid lemonade cups that everybody loves. Speaking of classic frozen snacks, you can't forget about Disney's usual ice cream lineup of Mickey premium bars, Mickey ice cream sandwiches, chocolate-coated frozen bananas, and fruit bars too. Can you find these pretty much anywhere in Disney, as well as outside Disney? Sure you can. But when you're already in the park, a classic Mickey bar in front of Tower of Terror can hit the spot. I'm going to keep this one pretty brief because there's not a whole lot to say about the garlic bread from Catalina Eddie's on Sunset Boulevard other than it's like Texas toast that you can get from the freezer section at your local grocery store. I like Texas toast just as much as the next guy with its crunchy crust and fluffy buttery center, and it's a great accompaniment for the pasta that's also served here. But should you go out of your way to get the Texas toast here? Probably not. Okay, kind of hard to know where to rank popcorn options because our team is pretty split down the middle on these. Well, at least we're split when it comes to one popcorn spot in particular. The classic buttered popcorn that you can find across several snack carts and kiosks park-wide isn't really something the DFB team are ever going to argue about. I mean, it's really good popcorn, salty, buttery, reliable, and if you've got that refillable popcorn bucket to use, it's going to be the most affordable snack you're going to order that day. But then there's Katsaka's Kettle over at Galaxy's Edge, and that's where things get a little controversial. Katsaka's usually has 2 flavors on offer. The buttered blue grains are just buttered popcorn but dyed blue. Nothing really offensive about that, though you won't be able to get a half-price refill of it using your refillable popcorn bucket, even though it pretty much tastes the same as regular stuff. I don't know, I guess they're pretty pretentious about their space popcorn. But the Outpost mix is a mix of red and purple colors with sweet and spicy flavors. Now, I don't like this. I don't like the idea of fruity popcorn, and I feel like that's the dominant flavor going on here. And I got quite a few DFB team members who agree with me. But then we've got the other side of the DFB squad who love this stuff and actually gravitate towards it when they're in the park. So I put the ball in your court. If you want to try a popcorn concoction that's mostly fruity with a little bit of a kick, go for it. But I'm going to stick with the classic buttered version. Okay, these are crunchy and they're savory. They got a little bit of a kick to them. They're easy to share. I don't know, the grilled pork rinds from Ronto Roasters aren't too shabby. These intergalactic pork rinds are seasoned in ancho chili, cheddar, smoke, and cinnamon. It's like the pork rind equivalent of an everything bagel. You got all the flavors going on here, and somehow there isn't one prominent flavor completely overpowering the others, so you get to taste them all. That being said, there's a lot of seasoning on these dudes, and that seasoning gets real messy. But I guess it's a small price to pay if you're a pork rind fan who's looking to try something completely different. This is the part of the video where I come out and warn you that Disney World churros just aren't the same as Disneyland churros, unless you're ordering them from Nomad Lounge and Animal Kingdom, because that's where the real good stuff is hiding. But what I will say about Hollywood Studios churro options is that along with the classic cinnamon sugar variety that you're going to find across a few of the snack stands, Ice Cold Hydraulics has a super unique savory option. The Bouncin' Mini churros are topped with Coca-Cola and bourbon candied bacon, sriracha aioli, and scallions. Intrigued? Yeah, so was I when I first heard about these. The churros themselves aren't savory on their own, but the bacon in particular added a nice salty and savory element to the whole thing. And my little soda goblin heart was rejoicing at the fact that I could actually taste some of that Coca-Cola this time, as well as the bourbon flavor. The scallions sprinkled on top are light and teeny tiny, and while the churro bites on top were heavy-handed with the aioli, I'm an aioli gal, so those were my favorite bites. So these aren't going to be for everyone, especially those who want to bite into a churro and taste nothing but sweet cinnamony goodness. But the unique take is fun and makes the idea of Disney World churros just a little more appealing. Now, this is not the last time you're going to be seeing Trolley Car Cafe's bakery display case pop up on today's list. Of course, if you are a DFB fan and you've been watching DFB for a while, you know what I'm talking about. But I figure we should discuss those classic assorted pastries now and save the really good stuff for later. Trolley Car Cafe inside Hollywood Boulevard is Hollywood Studios' Starbucks supplier. So this is where you're going to get your all too familiar coffees and cappuccinos and flat whites and cold brews and Starbucks branded breakfast and pastry options. But along with the Starbucks specific items, Trolley Car is also the keeper of seasonal Disney treats that could range from cupcakes to cookies to cinnamon rolls and more. So it's worth paying a visit, not just to get that caffeine hit, but also to check and see what's available this time around. Keep in mind that Trolley Car Cafe gets packed first thing in the morning with lots of guests desperate for their morning cup of joe, so you might be better off hitting up this place a little later on in the day after the crowds have died down a little bit. Let's say you're not going to Magic Kingdom this next trip, but you really are craving those corn dog nuggets from Casey's Corner. What do? Well, you hit up that KR&R The Rock Station snack stand over by Rock and Roller Coaster. Now, is this snack stand still going to be around after Rock and Roller Coaster closes for those Muppet refurbishments? Dunno. We'll just have to wait and see. But as for now, you can come here to find some classic theme park staple snacks, like those glorious corn dog nuggies. It's just instead of eating them with a view of Cinderella Castle, you'll be eating them with a view of Tower of Terror. Okay, actually there's a way bigger difference here that needs to be addressed. And this is the main reason why corn dog nugs are actually as far down as they are on today's list. While you can pay a little extra to get that glorious plastic cheese to accompany your corn dog nuggets over at Casey's Corner, the cheese that you can get with your nugs from KR&R is the pre-packaged stuff that comes with that little foil peel back top. It's just not nearly as good. Now, I'm going to eat it anyways because cheese is cheese, but I'm going to be missing my nice hot golden plastic cheese all the while. Good thing Backlot Express over in Echo Lake serves plastic cheese for an extra $1, and it's not too terribly far away. You know what they say, if you're going to eat fruit, do it in space. What? That's not what they say? Okay. Well, Ronto Roasters inside Galaxy's Edge has a lot of different unique snacks that you can try, but one of the healthier options on this menu is the Ando and fruit with muha sauce. This isn't your typical cup of fruit. This one comes with sticks of jicama, cucumber, pineapple, melon, and dragon fruit, doused in a tamarind sauce and dusted with peppercorn ash. Don't be intimidated by all the different flavors here. The fruit is fresh and crisp, and the tamarind sauce is spicy and flavorful. If you're someone who loves getting those fresh mangoes on a stick sprinkled with tahini, you're probably really going to enjoy this. But if you'd rather keep the spiciness out of your fruit, then maybe stick with the classic apples and bananas instead. Y'all, if your family loves slushies, there are so many slushie opportunities in Hollywood studios. Okay, if you're looking for the standard combos like blue raspberry or Coca-Cola or lemonade or wild cherry and all those Fanta ones, be sure to visit places like Backlot Express, Ice Cold Hydraulics, KR&R, Dockside Diner, Neighborhood Bakery outside Animation Courtyard, the Ice Cold Stand to the right-hand side as you enter the park, or Peavy's Polar Pipeline in Echo Lake. For something a little more standout-ish, surprisingly enough, Catalina Eddie's has a strawberry lemonade slushie that's actually worth picking up if you enjoy this flavor combo. This always used to be one of my very, very favorites back when I first started going to Disney World. The strawberry featured in this tastes natural and not overly sugary or syrupy, and there are even some strawberry seeds blended in this drink, so you know you've got the real deal stuff happening over here. And if you want to feel like you've just stepped off the beach and into the movies, the market, also outside Animation Courtyard, has a pineapple coconut slushie that's exactly what you'd expect it to be. 50% pineapple, 50% coconut, 100% as tropical as it gets. So it's not super common for me to rank a Disney cinnamon roll this low on a snack list, but I'm just not overly impressed with the candy-painted cinnamon rolls from Ice Cold Hydraulics over in Grand Avenue. The description of these dudes sounds like they're going to be amazing. They're mini cinnamon rolls topped with Coca-Cola infused glaze and candied nuts. And while they are really cute and you get a decent portion of them, the rolls themselves are pretty dry except for the very center of them. Not to mention, the glaze is incredibly sticky and makes it a bit of a challenge to eat. There's a slight smoky flavor hiding in there, but I had a hard time finding any hint of Coca-Cola in the glaze. Sad revelation. And the nuts do add a nice crunch, and there's definitely a good amount of cinnamon and sugar in each bite, but they're just not the best cinnamon rolls you're ever gonna get, so there's probably a lot better snacks in Hollywood studios. You're never going to see me turning down chips and cheese. It's the snack that hits the spot every time. You can find the standard tortilla chips and cheese combo from KR&R, the Rock Station snack stand near Rock and Roller Coaster. Remember where you got those corn dog nugs? As well as the market, which is just outside Animation Courtyard. Pretty basic, but still satisfying. However, if you prefer house-made chips and cheese over the classic packaged tortilla chips, Dockside Diner serves house-made chips that are sprinkled with a light barbecue seasoning and have a nice snap to them. And you're going to have to purchase the cheese separately, just an extra $1, but hey, that extra $1 will give you the good stuff that's served here, the real deal hot, melty, golden goodness that I love so much. But if you want house-made chips with a side of beer cheese, look no further than Baseline Tap House off Grand Avenue. The Avenue chips from Baseline are thick cut and crispy with a light salt and vinegar flavor, and the beer cheese is creamy and cheesy with that slight tang you expect from a good beer cheese. Is this my all-time favorite way to enjoy melty cheese in Disney World? No, but I think it's still a very solid option if you're looking for something savory and light to help tide you over before your next meal. Usually we're coming to Docking Bay 7 and Galaxy's Edge to order a full-blown entree, but you know, sometimes we'll come in here to sit in the AC for a bit and snack on their a la carte side options instead. Like the blueberry corn muffin, for example. This normally comes along with the smoked Kadu pork ribs, which feels interesting to me. I don't know, you do you, Docking Bay. But like by itself, it can be pretty inconsistent. Sometimes they're nice and moist and have lovely chunks of blueberry with each bite, and other times they're pretty dry and disappointing, maybe just kind of stale or from yesterday, but still manage to keep the good flavor. The yuca fries are what I prefer to snack on here, but that might be because they're served with a slightly spiced aioli on top, and I'm an aioli girl, as you know. These fries are soft on the inside, thick and crispy on the outside, and the absolute worst part about them is that there's not enough of them. Sorry, Docking Bay, but if I want some fries, I want more than 5 or 6, because those are going to be devoured in seconds. And if you're on the hunt for a very basic side of white rice, like the minute rice you can find at your local grocery store, Docking Bay 7 serves that with a few of their entrees. You can also get it with no bells and whistles, just plain rice from the a la carte side offerings as well. I don't know how you feel about mousse desserts, but Disney sure does a good job of making so many of their mousse-based desserts as aesthetically pleasing as possible. I don't know if that's damning with faint praise, but anyway. This also goes for the Black Spire Mousse from Docking Bay 7. The Black Spire Mousse is a white chocolate fruit mousse on a brownie pistachio brittle that's served with blue milk sauce, pineapple cream, and hibiscus sponge, all topped off with a chocolate Black Spire coin. Lots going on here aside from just the eye candy aesthetics. That yellow dollop on top tastes just like the whipped cream version of pineapple Dole Whip. The blue milk cream gets lost a bit in the fruity flavors but still manages to give you the slightest notes of passion fruit. Meanwhile, the brownie itself is more cakey than fudgy, but the sponge has a nice moist texture and just a few pistachios sprinkled here and there. Overall, the dominant flavor of this dessert is fruit. So if you were getting this mousse thinking it'd be more of a chocolate lover's dream, you might feel a little bit cheated. Don't worry, I've got a much more chocolatey mousse dessert coming up later in the video that might be more to your liking instead without sacrificing all the fun aesthetics. Stay tuned. Oh, blue and green milk, what a fickle treat to rank. Much like several of the treats you're going to find around Galaxy's Edge, the blue milk and green milk frozen beverages are highly controversial. You'll either love them or wonder why you spent almost $10 on a drink that makes you grimace with each sip. The blue and green milk are both made with the same base, a plant-based blend of coconut and rice milk, but they do feature different flavors. Admittedly, the milk stand menu is pretty vague on what those actual flavors are. They say blue milk is made with fruity characteristics and green milk is made with zippy citrus and tropical characteristics. More specifically, the blue milk is supposed to be flavored with dragon fruit, pineapple, lime, and watermelon, and the green milk is supposed to be flavored with mandarin orange, passion fruit, grapefruit, and orange blossom. But they both kind of taste a little florally and perfumey to me. I would probably choose the blue milk over the green milk because it's a little fruitier, but I don't like either of them. That's just to say that's just me. But some people really love these drinks, and they especially love drinking a novelty beverage inside Batuu that comes straight from the Star Wars cinematic universe. But for all you adults out there, you can add a little extra fun to these beverages by having them spiked with either rum for the blue milk or a tequila for the green milk. And all you kids out there can add a little extra fun to these beverages by ordering the Tenu Swirl Crunchies cereal, which is blue milk that's been topped with raspberry jelly and mini rainbow crunchy candies, aka nerds. Okay, let's just get this out of the way. Catalina Eddie's not our favorite place to snack or dine in Hollywood studios right now. But what we do appreciate about Catalina Eddie's is that it adopted quite a few of the Pizzerizo items after the Muppets-themed quick service closed for good back in the summer. And that includes swooping up the Pizzerizo cannoli to give it a nice and loving home. That being said, this is a pretty standard cannoli. If you are a huge cannoli fan, then this is the place to be. Also, if you loved Pizzerizo and just want some of that nostalgia, then this is where you want to go too. So if you feel like you just gotta have a pretzel while you're in a theme park, Hollywood Studios has a few classic and more unique options for you to choose from. Starting with the classics, several of Hollywood Studios snack carts and kiosks will offer up that OG Mickey pretzel. Is it going to be the best pretzel you've ever had? Probs not. But is it filling, familiar, and shaped like my favorite Disney character? Yes. If you want an even bigger pretzel option though, plus more dipping sauces, the Bavarian pretzel from Baseline Tap House comes with a beer cheese fondue and spicy mustard. Quick DFB hack for you though, you can swap out the spicy mustard for double beer cheese if you like, but if you're a mustard fan, then yeah, don't do that. Enjoy both. And then there's the specific Pretzel Palooza cart that's kind of hidden back by Rock and Roller Coaster. This cart serves not only the classic Mickey pretzels, but also pretzels stuffed with cream cheese and cheddar jalapeno pretzels. We love having both of these on offer, the sweet and the spicy, but don't be too intimidated by jalapenos inside the cheddar jalapeno one. They're not really super spicy, although some bites will hit you with more of a kick than others. Hey, here's that chocolate mousse dessert that I teased earlier. It sure does look beautiful, but does the Enchanted Rose dessert from Fairfax Fair and Sunset Boulevard taste beautiful too? This is a dark chocolate mousse with a taste of blackcurrant and morello cherry chocolate shortbread cookie, whipped cookies and cream fluff, and gilded chocolate-covered cacao nibs. This mousse is so incredibly creamy and not overly sweet due to the dark chocolate component, but that doesn't mean it isn't a rich dessert. This is heavy on the chocolate, light on the shortbread, and even lighter on the cherry. So even if you're not the world's biggest cherry fan, you might still enjoy this one if you're the world's biggest chocolate fan. Let's head over to Woody's Lunchbox to talk about a snack that's cozy but more savory and predictable. There's just something about a cup of tomato basil soup from this little kiosk that makes me think, yeah, eating a cup of soup in a really hot theme park is still a good idea, apparently. This soup isn't too sweet or too acidic. It's just the perfect combination of rich tomatoes and basil. And you know what really goes well with this tomato soup? to grilled cheese sandwiches that are also available here. Granted, the grilled 3-cheese sandwich is a full-on meal, not a snack, but you can basically get the same grilled cheese, only in a smaller portion, from the kids menu, along with a Cuties mandarin, potato barrels, tater tots, and your choice of beverage. Just ask to swap the mandarin orange for a small cup of tomato soup instead, and you'll be golden. So while I'd much rather grab a loaded fry basket from Animal Kingdom or Epcot, Hollywood Studios has a few decent options in there. The black garlic, truffle, and Parmesan fries are over at ABC Commissary on Commissary Lane, as well as other quick services across the other parks. So if you miss out on these in Hollywood Studios, you'll have your chance to order them again somewhere else, most likely. Most of our team really love these, but just a heads up, last time I had them, they were super truffly, so they just had that very strong mushroom flavor to them, so heads up on that for those of you who aren't so into that. Now, you can also grab a basket of steak fries from ABC Commissary. Those are $5, and they're steak as in thick cut, not steak as in the meat. And then there's the buffalo fries from Backlot Express in Echo Lake, and Rosie's All-American Cafe in Sunset Boulevard. The buffalo fries come with ranch-seasoned French fries drizzled with buffalo ranch sauce and blue cheese dressing. I enjoy these more than the garlic truffle parm persuasion, but as someone who usually loves that classic buffalo blue cheese combo, I must say that these fries are slightly disappointing if you're looking for more heat from the sauce or just more blue cheese flavoring in general, because it's very tame. Like to keep things classic, Rosie's also has a chili cheese fry option to make you feel like you're grabbing a bite to eat at your local 50s style diner or drive-in theater. But if you were to truly ask me what my favorite fry combo is in Hollywood Studios, I'd say grab yourself a classic basket of the Backlot Express fries, get the extra $1 plastic cheese sauce, which comes in a huge cup, and just enjoy. Okay, we talked about the Starbucks pastries and drinks. Now it's time to talk about the Joffrey's pastries and drinks. There are 2 Joffrey's coffee and tea kiosks in Hollywood Studios. The first is in that kind of awkward in-between area before you reach Toy Story Land, but after you pass by Animation Courtyard. Sometimes it's also referred to as Pixar Plaza, but that's more the Edna Mode meet and greet area that's a little further in, so if you're walking past Animation Courtyard, trust me, you'll see the Joffrey's, called the Market. And the second kiosk is easier to pinpoint. It's in the Tower of Terror courtyard toward the exit gift shop of the ride. So we love the classic coffees, teas, and donuts here. Of course, the donuts are from Donut King, which is a local producer, and those donuts are excellent and really fresh. But the very cool part about both of these kiosks is that they offer exclusive cookies on occasion, too. The Joffrey's past Animation Courtyard has a Play-Doh cookie, which is a funfetti sugar cookie with caramel and white chocolate chips sprinkled inside, and there's a frosted animal cookie baked into its center, so it's like cookie inception. This Play-Doh cookie goes really well with the Round 'em Up latte that's also served at this kiosk. This is basically the coffee version of the cookie, featuring cookie butter, sprinkles, and real animal crackers. Okay, so that might actually be sugar overload if you pair these, so plan on sharing if you want them both. Meanwhile, over at the Tower of Terror Joffrey's, the Terror Cookie, aka the Ghost Cookie, has white chocolate chips, Oreo bits, and a dusting of cinnamon sugar on top. The cookie itself is a regular sugar cookie, but dyed purple to make it look all spooky and stuff. Note that if you want to get either of these cookies, especially the Terror one, you'll probably have to hit up these kiosks sooner in the day rather than later, since they do tend to sell out quickly. There's also a chance they might not be available on the day of your visit if a cookie shipment didn't come in. That being said, it's always worth checking on that cookie status, just in case. So if you're on Team Unfrosted Pop-Tart like my scriptwriter Bria, then maybe the Lunchbox tarts from Woody's Lunchbox in Toy Story Land aren't going to be your favorite sweet snack ever. But if you're on Team Frosted Pop-Tart like me, I think you're really going to enjoy these glammed up toaster-style pastries. These are over at Woody's Lunchbox, and Lunchbox tarts are Disney's version of a Pop-Tart. While some flavors stay the same year-round, like the Raspberry Lunchbox tart with raspberry marmalade, strawberry fondant, and crispy pearls, the most fun thing about these are their seasonal varieties. In the past, seasonal options included the Sid Spiced Berry, the PB&J, the Key Lime Filled Claw, and several other limited time and seasonal options too. They don't always hit it out of the ballpark for us. I usually want more of the filling, and they just are real heavy on the pastry, but the flavors that do work really work. Nope, this isn't Epic Eats from Epic Universe. This is Epic Eats as in funnel cakes, which I suppose are epic in their own right. Epic Eats inside Echo Lake is the funnel cake hub of the park and always has been. Here you're going to find classic powdered sugar funnel cakes, cookies and cream funnel cakes with vanilla ice cream, funnel cakes with strawberry topping and more vanilla ice cream, and seasonal funnel cake options too. Most recently, we've seen a caramel apple pie loaded funnel cake on the Epic Eats menu, and you'll have to check and see what's going to be available during your next visit. Heads up that these are usually a really good use of a Disney dining plan snack credit too, because they're relatively expensive for what they are, but they're still worth a snack credit. Rosie's, why have you been hiding this peach cobbler from us? Because it might be one of our favorite little desserts on the menus right now. The peach cobbler from Rosie's All-American Cafe is a little layered trifle cup with crunchy cinnamon streusel, gooey cobbler filling, peaches, and a spongy bread-like cake layer that's soft without being sticky. The whole thing is warm and cozy and just decadent enough without being too heavy. Honestly, it tastes like a homemade peach cobbler that you get at a backyard barbecue, and we will be getting this one again the next time we've got a hankering for a peachy treat with just the right amount of tart. Coffee can be a snack too, right? I know some of y'all out there are furiously nodding your head in agreement right now. Now, I must say, the cold brew Black Caf is another divisive offering on Katsaka's menu over in Galaxy's Edge. This treat is made with Joffrey's cold brew topped with sweet cream cheese and chocolate puffs, like the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs type of chocolate puffs. I'm not the world's biggest coffee fan, but I do like this cold brew. Warning, the first sip is a little bitter from the dark brewed coffee, but then that sweet cream sinks in and balances out all the bitterness. If you mix it up before you take a sip, those flavors should balance out to your liking right from the start, unless you tend to only take your coffee black, and if that's the case, you definitely want to skip this one because it only gets sweeter the more you drink it. Note for you grown-ups out there, you can also get this cold brew spiked with chocolate liqueur. It's just going to hike that drink price up from $6 to $15.50, which might feel a bit steep for a dessert coffee beverage. Not only is this a tasty charcuterie plate, it's also one of the most affordable charcuterie options on Disney World property for just $13. This dish comes with blue cheese, brie, goat cheese, salami, sliced bresaola, blueberry compote, onion jam, bread and butter pickles, and lavash. So tons of options. If you don't like one thing, you're bound to like something else, which is the beauty of sharing charcuterie boards with a friend in the first place. For $13, you're getting a significant amount of items and combination possibilities, but this platter definitely needs more crackers. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, so you may ask if you can have a couple extra. For the most part, the ice cream options you're going to find around Hollywood Studios will be pretty basic. Basic's not bad, just expected, which is sometimes just what you need. You've got your standard chocolate, vanilla, or swirl of both over at Dinosaur Gertie's Ice Cream of Extinction in Echo Lake, as well as KR&R Rock Station and Epic Eats. Epic Eats and KR&R also have those traditional root beer floats available if you're a soda goblin in need of a classic sweet treat. Looking for a milkshake without the 50s Primetime Cafe reservation? Traditional chocolate and vanilla shakes live on the Dockside Diner menu over at Echo Lake right now. But really, the true reason that ice cream from Hollywood Studios is so high up on this list right now is all thanks to the variety of hand-scooped ice cream treats you're going to find at Hollywood Scoops on Sunset Boulevard. Along with the classic chocolate and vanilla, Hollywood Scoops also serves hard-packed ice cream flavors like mint chocolate chip, butter pecan, strawberry, cookies and cream, even an orange sherbet if that's more up your alley. And while you're more than welcome to stick with a classic cup or cone, Hollywood Scoops has a variety of unique ice cream combos for you to try as well. They've got loaded sundaes, boozy beverages, even limited time over-the-top shakes that are just as fun to take pictures of as they are to eat. Now, Wookie cookies can be inconsistent, but I gotta keep it at least towards the top portion of our list because I've had more positive experiences with it than I've had negative. And I just want to believe that the Wookie cookie will return to its top form once more if we give it a chance. The Wookie cookie is made up of 2 soft oatmeal cookies with a creamy whoopie pie style filling in between. So think the elevated version of a Little Debbie OCP, right? Oatmeal cream pie that your mom used to keep packaged in the cookie jar back in the day, or maybe you put in your lunch. Except that the Wookie cookie also comes with a chocolate belt that mimics Chewbacca's bandolier. The thick layer of icing is definitely sweet, but the oatmeal flavor prevents the sandwich from getting too sweet. I can't help it. This dude isn't perfect, but I still can't help but love it because when it's good, it's really good. And sometimes it comes out moist with copious amounts of icing, and then other times it tastes kind of dried out and crunchy and the icing feels a little sparse. So order at your own risk, I guess, but I really think this dessert is worth trying at least once. It's not every day you can find those little Mickey waffles as a to-go option in the parks, so I love that it's a to-go option in Sunset Boulevard. The Mickey waffle platter over at Fairfax Fair is under $10 and comes with a cup of syrup and a side of bacon. Now remember, these used to be blueberry Mickey waffles, which was even more fun, but then they just returned them to a regular Mickey waffle, which is still fun. We still love it. And I also think that the little versions of Mickey waffles is how Mickey waffles should be consumed. They're golden, they're crispy on the edges, they're very soft and chewy and fluffy. You can easily make this platter a full breakfast entree for yourself, but this can also be a nice morning treat to share with 1 or 2 other people in your group if you want to. Note that this is only available at the start of the day and until 11 a.m., so if you want it, get it before it's gone. I don't know how to appropriately express my love for Jack Jack's Num Num Cookie, which you can find at the Market and Neighborhood Bakery, both only steps away from Toy Story Land, because it really is a pretty classic chocolate chip cookie, but it's also a really good chocolate chip cookie. It's big, it's thick, it's almost shaped like a tart with a slightly crunchy outer rim and a soft center and those warm, gooey chocolate chips. I will never forget when the parks closed due to COVID, and we actually found the bakery that makes these for Disney, and they were actually selling stuff from the bakery, and they were selling Num Num cookies from the bakery. So we were able to go over there and get them. It was so cool just to have that little taste of Disney, right? Now, if you'd rather have something more adventurous, then keep on walking till you reach Galaxy's Edge. But if you want to play it safe and be thoroughly rewarded for sticking with what's familiar and comforting, then the Num Num cookie is that reward that you're searching for. So I've been waiting the whole video to talk about this one. It is such a unique theme park option that you're really not going to find anywhere else. Over at Fairfax Fair, where you can get those Mickey waffles, you can order 4 different savory waffle bowls that are easy to share, but also easy to not share if you want to make a full meal out of them. You can order the barbecued beef brisket bowl, the buffalo chicken bowl, the Korean barbecue pork belly bowl, or the plant-based soba noodle bowl. Now, personally, the soba noodle bowl is my least favorite, not because the noodles aren't good, but because with the other 3, you're gonna get a bed of very creamy mashed potatoes that you don't get with the soba noodle bowl. And that's really the star of the show for me, are those mashed potatoes. Now, my favorite option of the 4 is the buffalo chicken, but again, huge buffalo fan over here. So if you're looking for something with a little less of a kick, the barbecue beef or the pork belly might be better options. Okay, so hear me out. If you really want a salty, fried, potato-loaded treat in Hollywood Studios, skip the fries and go straight to the totchos. Woody's Lunchbox has both breakfast and lunch and dinner versions of their totcho bowls. During breakfast, those potato barrels, basically tater tots, are loaded up with smoked brisket, country gravy, scrambled eggs, and a sprinkling of green onions. It's basically all the best parts of breakfast shoved into one bowl. It's also easy to eat if you're wanting to grab something real quick before getting in that long line for Slinky Dog Dash. Waiting in line is boring, but waiting in line while eating totchos is an experience. Both totcho versions are good, but I tend to prefer the classic lunch dinner option because it's coated in beef and bean chili, shredded cheese and signature queso, tomatoes, corn chips, sour cream, and a sprinkle of green onions. All these flavors were made for each other. The corn chips added a nice crunchy texture, the cheese and sour cream made it all melty and creamy, and you're given a generous amount of tots, so you'll always have those golden fried potatoes with each bite. The thing I will say about both the breakfast and regular totcho options, though, is that both of these are best when you eat them up immediately while they're still hot, because once they cool down a bit, those toppings kind of start congealing and they get stuck at the top, and they don't have the chance to coat the other tots that are still at the bottom of the bowl. And that's just not fair for those poor bottom of the barrel potato barrels, you know? Oh, Ronto Wraps. It's like a hot dog, but better. Ronto Roasters serves 4 different types of Ronto Wraps. First, you've got the breakfast versions. Those are my favorite. There's the Ronto Morning Wrap made with scrambled eggs, grilled pork sausage, shredded cheddar, and peppercorn sauce in pita bread. They all come in pita bread, just so you know. And then there's the Triple Suns Breakfast Wrap, which is your plant-based option made with plant-based egg, smoky chickpea onion slaw, and roasted tomato sauce. Then we got the lunch versions, which is where you'll find the classic Ronto Wrap made with with roasted pork, grilled pork sausage, peppercorn sauce, and a tangy slaw. But again, if you'd rather have the plant-based option for lunch, the zucchini wraps are a solid alternative made with grilled zucchini, smoky chickpea onion slaw, creamy garlic tahini sauce, and fresh cilantro. Now, I know I'm calling them snacks, but really they could serve as a full meal if you want them to be. You just have to have room for other snackier options later on. Just keep in mind that Ronto Roasters does close early by 3 p.m. and breakfast stops being served at 11 a.m. So you really need to keep your eye on the time if you want a particular Ronto Wrap. That being said, the classic Ronto Wraps do hop over to the Docking Bay 7 menu after 3 p.m. So even if you miss grabbing one of the OG wraps from Ronto Roasters, you'll still have another chance thanks to Docking Bay. Okay, it's finally time for my favorite thing to eat in Hollywood Studios. And of course, it is my beloved carrot cake cookie, which I have had quite a history with over the past 16 years of running this food blog. I won't get into all of it now, but just know it's a history of passion and betrayal, disappointment, some tears, reunion, and cream cheese frosting. I know, there could be a soap opera written after our relationship. In its current form, though, the carrot cake cookie, which is actually nowadays called the carrot cake whoopie pie, I just always call it the carrot cake cookie still for nostalgia's sake, is 2 spongy carrot cake rounds with lots of cream cheese filling in between. This isn't like the overly sweet typical Disney icing that kind of sticks to the roof of your mouth. It's perfectly light, but also has just enough of that cream cheese taste and creaminess to it to make it a different flavor than standard vanilla. Just make sure you wait for the cookie to thaw a little bit before you bite into it, because Disney keeps these dudes chilled, so if you bite into it immediately after receiving it, the icing will be kind of gummy, and that's not the way you want to experience this treat. Now, the carrot cake itself is very moist, but also features those little bitty chunks of carrot bites within the sponge every once in a while. There are also sultanas in here just to give you that extra burst of flavor and texture. Despite our differences in the past, I do love the carrot cake cookie, but sometimes it does receive a holiday overlay, transforming it into a red velvet whoopie pie or something along those lines, which I'm always glad is a temporary thing because the classic carrot cake is where it's at for me. From Writer's Stop to Sweet Spells to Trolley Car Cafe, I will follow you anywhere, carrot cake cookie, absolutely anywhere. Now, DFB pro tip, Hollywood Studios constantly has limited time snacks, like everywhere. You probably already picked up on that during the video because exclusive treats have been a hot topic here today. But places like ABC Commissary, Backlot Express, Fairfax Fair, Rosie's All-American Cafe, Docking Bay 7, you name it, all love to celebrate whatever season's taking place through their limited time sweet treats. It can be kind of hard to rank treats that come and go so often, so consider this my catch-all reminder that as new snacks come and go from Hollywood Studios, we'll make sure to keep you updated with our latest reviews via the DFB website. So which Hollywood Studios snack would you put at the top of your snack ranking list? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to check out our other Ranking Every Snack videos. They're all out now, and the Epcot one was probably our biggest one by far. Speaking of other park snacks, if you haven't already, go ahead and grab our free DFB Best Snack Maps ASAP over at disneyfoodblog.com/best snacks. It's literally maps, so you can find all the best snacks in Disney World. You're welcome. I hope you love it, because I do. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.